Hello, hello, hello. It's Tuesday today. I am very glad that you are here. We are talking about one of my very favorite topics. We're talking about self-care. And the reason why we're talking about self-care is because we are leading right into February, which for the 7th year, I think, we are focusing all of our energy and our time and our thoughts here in my land toward helping to remind you to take care of yourself and to offer yourself simple acts of self-care every day. It is Love on Yourself Month, and that's what we do every February is the idea of being your own Valentine and giving yourself some tender care. So I'm going to talk about that later, but I wanted to start today to talk about why self-care is so important and also reframing it. Because as you know, I am always excited to help us break up with industries that tell us that how things are supposed to be and should be. So the reason why I wanted to start with this topic is because as soon as I say the words self-care, it starts to conjure up images in your mind about what you've been told self-care is. And I have tried really hard to help people reframe that. So first, I want to talk about why self-care is important. This is my imitation, or this is my drawing. I love drawings, but this is my drawing of the world that we live in right now. Often. So it feels really pokey to me, and there's a lot coming at us from all around. So, for example, we're constantly stimulated with electronics. We're constantly asked to do and do more, and that somehow being busy and doing more is a status symbol. We are constantly giving it a lot of ourselves to our work, to our people, to the world. We're constantly give. And so what ends up happening is a few things in your system. Essentially, your whole system is kind of at an elevated response. You're kind of amped up, and you're kind of living in a state of constant stress. I teach a lot about stress and why it's important for us to really get a hold of it. But there are some interesting effects of being charged and kind of having things come at us all day. And what ends up happening in all of our layers is we kind of are tight and amped and stressed. And so we don't have calm thoughts. We don't have any place of calm thoughts. We don't react to things very well. We act in a reactive manner instead of a thoughtful, proactive manner. And it comes out to our actions and what we do. So it's kind of like this, it affects, when we are charged like this, it affects everything that we do. And instead of coming at our lives from a place of centeredness and calm and care and thoughtful choices, we are often just kind of reactive and really amped up. That's just one reason. Another reason is that because we're constantly giving of ourselves to our people, our work, we are often super depleted. And there's nothing left in the well. And we're waiting for people to fill our well for us. It's your well. Your well is your responsibility. And it's important for you to acknowledge that your well is your responsibility, so you can start to notice that the well levels, we're going to be talking more about the well down the line, but it's your responsibility to maintain and help those water levels, your well level, rise. That is why self-care is an integral part of wellness, because it affects all of the areas when we lived in this charged atmosphere and environment, and we don't offer ourselves care within that environment. You end up feeling depressed, depleted, bottomed out, exhausted. And that's just no way to live. It's just no way to live, to be constantly, feeling just dragged down and at response to what's happening. What self-care does is it starts to help you to smooth your edges, to soothe your feathers a bit externally. But in response to that, what happens is internally, you start to calm and your well levels start to rise. That is why self-care is so important. But first, before we start talking about self-care, I want to tell you that self-care has turned into a quadrillion-dollar industry that is designed to get you to think that self-care is super expensive and that it is super complicated, and that if you only were able to get that weekly massage or whatever, that you would feel better. And I'm here to tell you that that's a load of bunk designed to get you to pay lots of money for things and to have it be outside of you always. To have it always feel like what it is that you want to feel inside is outside and unattainable. And that's bunk. It's not the truth. The three things that come up when I regularly survey people and ask people, what stops you from giving yourself care, is money, time, and guilt. Money, time, and guilt. And so what I want to tell you is that it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't have to be time consuming. And that if you can start to switch self-care around so that you understand that there's no reason for you to feel guilty about it because you're filling your own well, and ultimately you're able to give more to your people and to the world and to your work, you can start to turn the tables on what self-care is. So next section of this teaching is for you to start considering reframing what self-care is for you. I know what it is. I know the quick things that I can do for myself. What are things that you do for yourself that you can weave in throughout your day to support yourself and support your being in the world and soothe the agitation of the world and fill your well level? What are those things? They're unique to you. And I can't tell you what those things are because they're unique to you. But it's important that you figure out what those things are for you so that you can start to offer yourself those things throughout your day, like a string of pearls throughout your day. So that in the agitation of our world, you can offer yourself a full well to approach that agitation and respond differently towards it. What do you do? And if you don't know, no problem. No problem. It's about exploration. It's about being curious. It's about figuring out what you might like to do that helps support you. Experiment. I know someone who likes to crumple up wax paper. They like the sound of it. It feels good. It's super tactile. Doesn't cost much. Roll the wax paper. I love a lit candle. Everywhere I go, there is a lit candle. A breath of fresh air. A cool glass of water. So the first step is consciously breaking up with a system that tells you that it's appointment based and is about super expensive things. There's just no need for that. There's no need for that. You get to determine what your self-care looks like. So a good exercise, and one that's included in the Love on Yourself workbook, is a brainstorm list. Is starting to think about what would make me, what would help my well level rise, what would soothe my agitation, what would support me within my day. Start there. Start there. And then do the things on the list. February is Love on Yourself month. Here's the invitation. The invitation is for you to consciously offer your self-care throughout your day. Not at the end of the day going, okay, what did I do for myself today that gives my self-care? This is about consciously giving yourself care throughout your day. Your care. What is it that you want to offer yourself? And if you would like to participate, I will put the information so that you can sign up down below. In addition to this, the tools of the course, it's not even really a course, it's just a challenge for us to remind ourselves to take care of ourselves throughout our day. There's a lot of prizes, and I will put those below for you to look at too. $12,000 in prizes. I would love to have you join me. That's it for today. If you have any questions or comments or feedback, please put them below. It was a delight to chat with you. Have a great day. See ya.